Students in another class panicking. Tomorrow's the last day, and some of them didn't believe all the previous days' announcements about the countdown to the last day, and they're realizing that tomorrow the class ends at 10 o'clock, and they're like, I didn't know it was going to end tomorrow. Really? I don't know how I could make it more clear. Yes, tomorrow the class ends 10 o'clock. I guess I don't know. I should have sent out more than 47 emails and texts and posted it over and over. I'm sure you're tired of seeing those announcements, but I need to make sure everybody is aware of it. So please check for your open assignments. Get those in. Um, Emailed assignments after 10 o'clock cannot be accepted. Okay? I can't accept them because it's not fair to everybody else. So no special privileges, no extensions. I can't give them because I can't let you in a class. I can't unlock. So that's it. 10 o'clock, people will be kicked out. If you're in the middle of something, you will be booted out. That includes a final exam. Anything not completed on the final exam will be counted as a zero. Anybody who doesn't take the exam, I have to note that you did not participate in the final exam. We do have to make note of that. So if there's any questions, um, if an extreme issue comes up, where for any reason, we hope that never happens, that you have to have a special exemption and come back and take the final exam. What happens is you get a printed final exam. You have to be supervised at all times while you're taking that. You do not get the benefit of being able to look things up on phones, notes, etc. You get to sit there in front of somebody while they watch you take that exam. Okay, so it is not a pleasant experience, um, because it isn't. It is a special exemption. Um, an exception for those. And that's not the way the exam's supposed to be taken. So, no, it is not a nice accommodation. Those are for extreme circumstances, though. So, just let that be out there. Um, those are, like sudden deaths in the family, things like that. And they do require documentation. So we got that out of the way. Tomorrow, again, I'm going to be making the recording tonight. Uh, there could be backup dancers. I've got Beyonce on hold. She's dying to be on the recording. You know how pushy she can be. Once she did the Super Bowl, she thinks she's a star, etc. And so let me tell you, she can be right up there. Lady Gaga wants to do a new song for the presentation. I don't know. I think I'll just wing it and do it on my own. I think I got this down pat, but you never know. So, again, tomorrow's is going to be very short. I want to get you to that participation question, give you as much time as possible. Now, many of you have already done the final exam, and if I've graded it, you should be very happy with the results. Has anybody taken it and taken a look at their results? See, a couple of you have. You should be very happy with those results. Scores are coming in excellent. Anybody who has taken or did the mock interview, all your results are back. Take a look at those. I put remarks in there. Those are taken directly from the notes that were sent back. Again, I only give the score that was passed back. I wasn't there. I can't give you my grade. It's a grade from Career Services. You all did fantastic. If you didn't do it, you got a big old goose egg, zero. Debrief, it's noted you did not take the mock, did not participate in it. I verified that with Career Services, or you made the appointment and you didn't show up. That is not what we consider good ethics. We talked about that. One of the things about ethics is showing up. There you go. Okay. What does that say for the personal brand? It knocks it down. These things matter. Okay. Like our guest speaker said, this is your first job. Basically, you're setting up how well you perform. So try to always be there, try to show up. Don't make promises that you're not going to keep. How many people know people that are great at making promises and you just don't count on them because their brand is showing you they have a consistency of not keeping promises? You're better off to say, no, I can't do that. People go, oh, I can't say no. Yes, you can. Look, no. See how easy that is? Practice that word. It's okay to say no. You're better off saying no than breaking promises because breaking promises makes you a liar and makes you untrustworthy. Stop breaking promises, okay? Say no and mean it. Be honest. Honesty is one of the best things you can have as a person. When you stop being honest, you will stop being able to move forward because an untrustworthy employee is worthless to them. I would let them do this, but I can't trust them. I would move them up, but I can't trust them. So that basic honesty is a key ethic point. Okay. But those of you that did the mock, you did incredible. Few things, sticking points. Always remember, thank that person. Remember their name. Thank that person. Know your career. Please do that background check on your career. Know the ins and out. Who's the top of your field? Okay. Anybody who's in the vet fields know who Ron McGill is. Okay, you may have heard him because Panthers won Stanley Cup. What? Everybody know that? Okay. Panthers won the Stanley Cup, so Ron McGill has been all over the place because Ron McGill's big in veterinary medicine, and he has the Florida Panthers. The actual cat is big in that type of care. So you should know who Ron McGill is. Travels back and forth taking animals that we rehab here in Florida back to Africa and re-releasing them back to the wild. These are things. Who's the head company in Deal, the leading exporter importers, number one for hiring places. How many people remember work everywhere, right? I told you network everywhere. Remember that? I was at Sunny's barbecue last night, pigging out, eating my feelings, really upset last night. So I'm in there talking to the waitress and we were laughing because I worked at a Denny's. We were talking about how people order spaghetti for their kids when they go out so they make a mess. Lady behind me heard that. She works at Disney, right? We got to talking. Her husband sitting there, guess what? Welder at Disney. I told him I got welding students, right? Guess what I got? Business card. Guess what I get to do? I get to refer welders to him because he wants to hire welders at Disney to work after hours because they need welding positions at Disney in all four parks. Any welders out there? Anybody in the welding field would like to have a job that pays starting 30 bucks an hour? Anybody interested in that? Boy, it pays you to go out to eat and land a welding job. Yeah. Where's your business card? How many of y'all have them? Told you, didn't I? Listen to this class. He's got my business card. I got his business card. hmm You think this class, oh, I'll never use that. I'll never use that. hmm I got me some fried okra and I got job openings that I can refer people to. How about that? Yep. I got me some fried food and a side of job references that I'm going to be passing along. This is why these things are important. How did we introduce ourselves? We both did elevator pitches. Hi, my name's so and so. Then let me tell you about me. The thing we don't like to hear, tell me a little bit about yourself. That's what we did. He's a professional. I'm a professional. These things work. All right. Be prepared. Real casual. Of course, then we were trying to decide what's the best thing to get at Sonny's because it's on the casual. Okay. These things work. Make it happen. Okay. Everybody good? Everybody got it? See how these things can happen in the least likely of places. Least likely. Also, you're going to love this. One of the places he's doing the most work right now, Animal Kingdom, right? So what did I do? Gave him a couple extra business cards. Why? Because he's going to pass them on to Animal Care and Animal Kingdom. Why? Because I want them to contact me back about openings in their animal care department. Why? Because they don't list them. How do you get hired there? References, networking. The best positions are not listed. So by eating at Sonny's, I got a connection to welding with openings, and he's going to pass it on to animal care at Animal Kingdom so we can get openings there, and I'm going to refer people. How about that? And I got some great barbecue all at the same time. So be prepared. Have those business cards, either paper or on your phone. I have both because I'm never sure who wants to use technology. That's networking. These things work. Okay, everybody good? Everybody got it? Yes, yes? All right. No Phoebe's out there. There we go. Some people are on set it and forget it. They're eating their Cheerios this morning, kind of going, this is the last class that I got to listen to this guy. All right. Let me tell you, just as good of information at the end at the beginning. Because if you don't listen to the ending, guess what? Your career can end. Boom. Just like that. All right. So we're going to share. Going to do the screen share. Do, do, do. So here we are on week 4. Everything needs to be finished tomorrow. All right. So you've done all these things. If not, you're going to be hustling. And that final exam, make sure you get that in. Okay. That is a big one. That career plan, that 250 points, I'm getting incredible results on this. Some of you are really thinking this one through. That form is really helping y'all. I can't express why these plans are so important. You really do know where you're going. I had somebody say, nobody knows where they really want to be. Wrong. I know where I want to be. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have plans. Maybe you don't want to be a success. But those of us that do want to be a success, we have plans. We know where we want to be. Okay? Because we know what we want to do. I don't want to work forever. Okay? When I retire, I will be making twice as much as I am working. Why? Because I chose my career plan so that I would have retirement from each position max and then switch positions. And I did this. I have 6 retirement funds coming besides Social Security. 6. Okay. Why? I planned. And it's never too late to plan. And it's never too late to start. Never too late to start over. This is why we plan. We do these things because we know where we truly want to be. And it can be a big plan or a little plan. And you can start off small, make that, and then do another one. You do it the way you want. But don't say people don't plan. Okay. Another thing that was kind of misinterpreted, I want to clear this up, was saying that places don't have an open door policy or places don't listen to you. what that referred to is businesses are in it for business. Okay. Businesses are not your friend, meaning the business overall, not necessarily people in the business. But the bottom line, a business is designed to make money. Okay. And when it comes to friendship or money, that business has to be run for business or the business will fold, regardless of friendship. So at some point, if it comes down to one or the other, somebody will have to make the decision on friendship or business. Okay. And sometimes people will choose to go with friendship. But the bottom line, when people say business is in it for business, that's exactly right. That's what they're there for. Okay. They're in it to make money. Now, they can do it ethically or unethically. They can be very cutthroat. They can do things illegal. That is different. But when I say business is in it for business, it's the nature of what it is designed to do. Okay, so I want to clarify that. That's what I mean. It does not mean that people aren't good in business, and it doesn't mean that businesses don't do things like donate to charity, save the environment, and things like that. It doesn't mean that there aren't good businesses, but even good businesses have to stay afloat by making a profit. Okay, everybody got that and understand the difference there? So I want to make sure everybody has that. Sorry about that. Had a phone go off. So that's the difference between an ethical business and an unethical business is how they conduct themselves. All right, everybody good? Everybody got that? Yes, yes. Okay. So our last live session. So we have done all kinds of stuff. We learned about ourselves with our personality. We went through, we did all kinds of incredible things. My iPad here, there we go. Um, we learned how to write brand statements so that we could define ourselves. We learned the importance of keeping our brand because that is our reputation. Remember, your brand is your reputation. Okay, it is how others see you. And that's important because we need to know uh, that keeping that clean is the way others view us. Just like when you hear somebody's name, you think, oh, they're lazy, they're a good worker, they will always do this, they go above far. That brand is you. Okay. Your personal commercial has nothing to do with advertising. It is your way of pitching yourself when somebody says, tell me about yourself. That question everybody hates. You have it down because you wrote and you practice that elevator pitch. That is your personal commercial. So you're prepared. We've done a mock interview, so you know what to expect. You know how to conduct yourself. You know how to ask questions. You know how to do that research. We went through and we looked at different job listings so you could see the skills inside them to make sure they're on your resume. Because if they're not on your resume, you're not going to get selected. Okay. We learned that every week you need to revise those applications you have out there on those job sites. Because if you don't, they're not going to get picked up because they only pick up the current week's listings. So if you're not going through every Sunday and reapplying, you're never going to get selected. Okay, that's your Sunday work to do every week. So you're learning the techniques to cover and get accepted. You also learn that everyone kind of gets depressed when you're not hearing back from these people. Keep those negative thoughts out of your head. Okay. We also learn there's questions they can't ask you, little tricks to check to see do you have children and things that might interfere with your work. And they do that by not asking you, but by putting things on their desk to try to see if you pick up on it. Okay? Don't ask things like, how much will I get paid? We learned how to negotiate by saying, and see what else they can offer you. When they ask you how much you want to get paid, say you expect it to be paid fair compensation. Let them toss those numbers out because you may undersell yourself, but you checked what you should get paid on those government sites. Know what you're worth and know what you know. Know all the equipment names that you work with. List your soft skills, list those hard skills, and talk specifically. You may not think you have learned a lot, but when you go over this, you've learned a lot. You covered a lot of ground here. Think about it. Understand how much you truly know and build that confidence up. You truly are great. I'm not blowing smoke here, folks. You have done a lot. You've accomplished a lot in 4 weeks. You've accomplished things that take years for people to learn. You did this. Be proud of that because today we're going to talk about actually starting your career. Okay, let me turn this on. I have ink today. There we go. One last smiley face here. We're going to talk about some of the things we covered a little bit: professionalism, multi-generational and multicultural workplaces, and actions for success. Skip there. Okay. So let's talk about professionalism. This is a soft skill, and some of you really have this one down well. It is your judgment, character, and behavior. Okay. And these are your workplace skills, but it's also what we call self management skills. Okay. So that your workplace skills, those are your basic skills, your thinking skills, and your people skills. Okay. But self management skills, these are the things that control you, your personal habits, your time, and your abilities. So these are things that control you. Okay. So some of those that we're going to talk about: punctuality. Are you there on time? Can they depend on you? And not only are you there on time, how do you manage your time? Are you always rushing around at the last minute? This drives supervisors and bosses crazy because are you truly going to meet that deadline? And are you rushing so much that you may not do it as well? And this one, emotional regulation. How many people have tempers? Anybody? How many people cry easily? Anger, cry, things like that. We have to control these at work. You have something bad happen outside of work, it stops at the door. Okay? This isn't a soap opera. Okay? This isn't Big Brother. We don't want the drama. Okay? No drama. No drama llamas here. Okay? Don't bring it in. That is one of the quickest ways to lose your job. One of the biggest ways people are losing their job. Okay? Being late, never acceptable. Okay? Sometimes things do happen, but consistently late, not acceptable. Okay? Your coworkers might laugh it off, but underneath it, we resent you because we're having to do your work. Okay? Dependability. If we can't rely on you, you're doing bad work. You say you're going to do it, you don't do it. This dependability, uh-uh. People don't want to work with you. They may act like they want to be your friends, but really, they don't want to be around you. Okay? News. You may laugh and people, oh, they love me, love me, love me. I'll get them to do it. Really? They're actually waiting for you to be fired because they like you, but they don't want to tell you, I hate working with you. Honest. Anybody know these people? You like them, but you really wish they would no longer work with you because they make your life harder. You do. You like them, but you really don't want to work with them anymore. Time management. Work smarter, not harder. Learn how to prioritize things. Figure out which things need to be completed first. But here's a big one right here. Okay. If you don't know which one, ask. Everybody's got a mouth. We can all use it. Sometimes we need to close that mouth a little bit and use our ears more. But ask if you're not quite sure so that you develop time management. Time management is difficult to learn, and it is a skill. Okay. It is a skill. So much so, people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to learn time management. And your time management will be different than everybody else's. Okay. Emotional regulation, control it. Okay. Look at there. Number one, they often lose their jobs. Your temper blows up. Why? You don't get your way? Oh, well. Let me play a fiddle for you. Oh, well. They use somebody else's ideas. Oh, well. How did that hurt you? Okay. Now, if you're being bullied at work or somebody's making a hostile work environment, those are different. Okay. Go talk to a supervisor. However, if you just get angry because something didn't go right or this or that, you may need professional help. And that is okay. We put a stigma on professional help. Don't don't ever criticize somebody for seeking help. Okay? You don't know what's going on with them. You are not the professional. But if you criticize somebody for seeking professional help, I guarantee you, you are part of the problem. Never ever criticize anybody for seeking any type of mental health help. Ever, ever. It's no different than seeking physical help. Okay. Now, multi-generational workplaces are incredible because I'll tell you, when we did this ethics thing where you watch the video and you have to figure out, how you would handle things, this comes into play. People of different generations see things different. Okay. So if you're working with somebody in a different generation than you and you're communicating and the other person's not getting it, don't talk to them louder. What is it? People do this to the same thing. If somebody speaks a different language, I will talk louder. That makes you understand. Really? That makes you understand. So if I give you a book and you read something and you don't understand it, I'll just give you a book with bigger letters. That'll make you understand it? No. Change your wording, rephrase things so that they might understand. Show them. Maybe they'll do the same thing for you. How many people have ever used a chiffero? Anybody know what a chiffero is? But now how many people have used a dresser? Enoch knows. Okay. A dresser. They know that. How many people go to their boudoir? But how many people use a bedroom? Different generations use different words, right? Okay. Learn how to communicate with people from different generations. Now, there are four that are listed here: baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, and Gen Z. But there is a fifth one. called the silent generation, or also called traditionalists. Traditionalist sounds kind of creepy, like from an old movie or something. I don't know. But the silent generation was born um, a long, long time ago, right here, 1920 to 1939. But they're still working. They're not giving up. 2% of the workforce. Okay. And they value tradition and history, believes in hard work, and they're a good role model. Now, any baby boomers out there? This isn't me, by the way. I'm not there. They were between 44 and 64. Strong work ethic, desire to make a difference, value heart relationships. These people started with the company and finished with the company. Dedicated, dedicated. Gen X, mid 60s and early 80s. Okay. My generation, Gen X, this is us. During social, economic, and technical change, we saw the Berlin Wall fall. We saw a lot of changes. PCs entered the home market, were practical, resourceful, and independent. We will do it ourselves, get out of our way. But we were the first generation that demanded a work life balance. You're not going to make us die for your company. We are self sufficient. We can live on our own. We'll grow our own food. We'll do it ourselves. Get out of our way. Then comes the Gen Ys, 81 to 96. Any Gen Ys out there? Oh gosh, you guys are babies. Very young. I've got a couple. 81 to 96. Tech savvy, ambitious, collaborative. Look for ways to be efficient. You're very flexible, very much on your own personal growth, and you're worried about social responsibility. What are we doing to our planet? What are we doing to each other? You want to make the world better. Passion about social and environmental issues. Is this anybody? Any Gen Ys? Okay. Gen Zs. You guys have to be Gen Zs then. Born after 1996. Any Gen Zs? Y'all were born sometime. Okay, there's one, there's two. Got a couple of Gen Zs. Some people came from eggs apparently and were hatched. Or like I said, y'all are just skipping by today. Born after 1996. You guys are digital, independent learners. You had technology your entire life. Okay. It was here. But ironically, my Gen Z students, they're the ones who say, I can't work a computer. I can't work this. I can't work that. It was here before you. You've always had it. Don't tell me you can't. It was here before you. You've always had it. We didn't have it. You did, and we can, and you can't. There's a difference between can't and won't. Okay. You're adaptable to new technology. The difference is you just want it integrated into your life. You don't want it beside it. You just want it to be there to flow naturally. That's the big difference. Okay. You're open to diversity. You don't care who people are, what they are, who they do, what they do. People are people. Very relaxed compared to the more uptight traditionalists. Traditionalists don't like anybody. They just want everybody to stay separate and nobody touch anybody. Okay? You guys want to do your own your own business, work for yourselves. Does that sound like anybody out there? You want to own your own business, you want to be your own boss, you want to do your own thing. A bunch of small businesses as opposed to big giant corporations. Does that sound like the careers you guys are looking for? I've seen it in your writing. Hello, hello, people. Nobody wants to work for themselves? Okay. You value social justice, environmentalism, and equality, and you're very creative. I know a couple of you are. So, multicultural is where everybody works together, diverse backgrounds, cultures, and identities. So, you have to have what we call cultural competence. You have to understand and be able to communicate with each other. So, you have to be open minded. And when we say open minded, that doesn't mean your brain has to fall out. So, that means you have to be able to be willing to understand that what you say to another person has to be okay in communication. So you don't say things that are racially degrading. You don't say things that are gender degrading, etc. So think about, would this be something that is acceptable to all audiences? Because although you're talking to somebody else over to the side that you don't see could overhear that. So just be aware of what you're saying in the workplace. Okay. Be aware if you put it on social media and it is seen, it can be known, and that could be a bad thing as well. You have freedom of speech, but you also have the right to the consequences that follow. Understand that. We all do. We've all said and done things we probably shouldn't have done, but we also are responsible for those consequences. So being able to work with teams that are different ages, different genders, different racial backgrounds, that will get you a lot further because those different ideas from all of those different areas will make those teams even better. Because if everybody thinks the same, works the same, does exactly the same, you're not getting the best of the best. All right. So, discipline and termination. Typically, most companies follow verbal warnings, written warnings, suspension, and then termination. In Florida, unless your company specifies these, we are a right to work state and they can just walk up and tell you you no longer work here. No warnings, no nothing. You don't have to be doing anything wrong. They can just terminate you. We just saw this in Lakeland where all of Hooters was shut down. No reason. They're going under. Tomorrow's your last day. Boom. That's it. No warnings. They don't have to give it. Now, federal has what we call the WARN Act, WARN. That only comes into play if you have 60 or more employees in a single location. Then they have to give a 30-day notice, I believe, to let you know about the impact. But it has to be a single location. That Hooters did not have 60 employees at that location, so they did not have to give them advance warning. Okay, so that is something that does happen. Now, in your career, you're going to spend a lot of time at work, so you need to be in control of your career. You need to continue professional development. You need to make sure that you are in control of your brand. You are the professional. Network, because although you love your career, there may be one even better out there, a better position, better life uh, balance, more this, more that, that you won't be able to get where you're at. This is why you network. You continue to meet with professionals, you continue to grow your network. Always have realistic expectations. You love where you are, but realistically, you can only go so far there. Think about, I want to make $80 an hour, but your job may never pay that. Always be realistic. Respect money. Save, invest. Don't spend more than you're making. Don't spend it as fast as you can. Think about purchases. Do I need this or is it a want? Can I hold off on it? Will it be a better price a month from now? Do I have to have this now? What do I do as far as medical expenses? How do I control? Plan here again so that you're prepared for these things. We talk about good employees. This is what you do. Professionalism. Meet or exceed job performances. We all know that person that's going to just do the minimum. We see it in school. We see it when they hit the job. I'm not going to do anything extra if I'm not going to get paid extra. Okay, you got it. You'll never get paid extra because until you start doing better, we're not going to advance you. It's not always, I'm going to pay you more and then you do more. Let's see what you can do and then I will pay you accordingly. Have a positive attitude. If you come in with a, I want to be out of here so bad, I can't wait till it's time to go home. Good, go ahead, hit the door now. Save us all the trouble of having to deal with you. Okay? Communicate with each other. The more you can communicate positively, the further you're going to go. It's not a magic formula. And these people that tell you, oh, I know the way to get here, get here, get here. Bro, then why are you working with me down here? If you know the secret, why didn't you use your own advice and move up? There are no shortcuts. Okay? Telling you as it is. Be dependable and reliable. When you get feedback, this was part of our ethics thing there. What do you do when that person blows up because they didn't like the feedback? Listen to the feedback. Number one, it'll tell you how your supervisor is. Are they truly a good supervisor? But also be willing to hear the feedback. Maybe the feedback's good, maybe it's not what you want to hear, but see if it's legit. Okay. And take that initiative. You may not be a supervisor. Okay. Don't go around bossing people around, but just because you're not a supervisor doesn't mean you can't take initiative to move things forward. Now, how do you know you're successful? You should feel fulfilled, meaning you're happy with where you're at. If you're not, you have the power to change it. If you're not happy, you need to figure out what is it that's not making you happy there so you don't repeat that. And you need to find a way to change why you're not happy. Keep developing professionally. Take more classes. Take lessons. Learn to grow your skill. Network. Find out what's trending. What's the next thing that you need to learn in your career field. Good relationships. On the job, off the job. You have to have a life off the job. Do sports. Go out, vacation, go to theme parks, spend time with your family, read a book. These are all different types of relations and your own personal happiness. You need a sense of purpose. You can go in, do the same thing over and over, but if you don't feel like you're amounting to anything, you don't feel like you're accomplishing, you're not going to enjoy your career. Flexibility. Be willing. I do this every day. We need you to do this over here. I'm not doing that. This is what I do. Be willing to change in your job, or you might end up stuck forever. Okay. Be willing to change, to grow, and to go on. And this personal growth applies inside and outside the job. Let yourself learn. Learn about you, learn about your job, learn about your family, grow. All right. Everybody good? Everybody excited to get out of this class, to move on, get in that career. This is what you've been here for, and you're at the cusp. All right. So for today, 3 things you learned in this lecture today, what we covered today. Okay. The 3 things that I went over today. All right. Nice, easy one for that. And so tomorrow will be the recording. So I just want to make sure everybody knows how extremely proud I am of you. If you have open assignments that you need to catch up on, please, please, please get those in. I don't want any last minute missing it by 2%, etc. A 65% or higher is what you need. Do not play the numbers games, though. Please finish the assignment. Okay, you've worked very hard this month. I want to see 100% success for everybody. So please finish strong, finish awesome, and most importantly, have a long, successful career. All right, y'all have a great one.